King A.D.S. Music Production.
Hey, 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 I'm back. I'm back up in your face, in your space, getting loose all over the place. Let's get down to the case. Oh, how are you doing? I hope the feeling is high vibration and energized all up in your space, and you just taking no prisoners on getting through those goals and breaking through. And I'm King A.D.S. Welcome to my channel, my music and vlog channel. If it's the first time you've been here, then definitely drop a subscribe, drop a like on the video. It really helps me out, and all it is a little click. And as we go forward on this journey, as I like to connect with people, and definitely check out all the music on my channel. It's a lot of hard work that goes into it, a lot of years of work, just like the mix titles would imply: bars, sweat, and years. And definitely check all those out. Check out all the projects that I've been involved in my featured channels, The Almighty Grind, just so much going on, Cosmic Rock Box, Theta Mob, just a lot going on. But right now, this is also can fit a lot of different facets, I suppose, but I found this to be very useful throughout time and experience. And so I just wanted to share it. It's not like I'm trying to get up on here and say, hey, I'm the guy that's got all the answers, who's got two thumbs and knows everything. This guy is not, that's not my MO at all. But I would like to just share and connect, you know what I mean? To give another side of me other than just the music. So that way, if you are checking out things, you can get a feel for the type of person I am underneath the layers a little bit. And so with this one, it's about like what three things are paramount to being successful. I mean, there's a lot of things you can introduce into a person's lifestyle and the way they think and stuff, and we all know it starts in the heart and in the mind. We know that. But also there's three essential things that I'd like to touch on, and that would be making a plan. Number one, right? Always make a plan for whatever the goal is, a small goal to a big goal, short term, mid range, or long term, right? And also, do you are you well, I don't want to jump around too much. I do this sometimes because I freestyle it as I go off the topic and just try to settle myself down and communicate. So number one, make a plan, because without making a plan, you're planning to fail, right? You've heard this before. It's a recipe for disaster. And also, when making a plan, don't make a plan. This is stuff that I picked up, but don't make a plan that doesn't involve room for error or mistakes or setbacks, right? Because, in other words, that is something that'd be like textbook versus the real world, right? So it would be book smarts versus no street smarts kind of deal, as people would express. So if you make a plan, it can't be a fantasy plan. It has to be a realistic plan. And if it's in the beginning, maybe more modest and moving up the scale as you go, right? Moving up the hill as you get to the top of the hill and stuff like that. Or hopefully we do. And so making that plan should be a realistic plan. If it needs to be a modest plan, then make it a modest plan. If it needs to be below modest and be a hobby plan, make it a hobby plan. If it's a practice plan, whatever, right? Just for the fact that you want to get good at something. We all know that practicing and repetition is the key to mastering any skill. So the more practice we get at something, the better. So any level, though, the plan that we set has to be realistic. So plans that have room for margin for error and setbacks and things are more realistic and better plans than plans that are like a fantasy book when you read it and everything goes perfect. And I'm not saying that that can't happen. I'm just saying that more often than not, you'll probably hit some hiccups, some bumps, and some stuff like that, and obstacles. So that's number one. Number two is make a schedule. And you make a schedule because of kind of like what we just were talking about right now, is that reality sets in. and you still have responsibilities. You still need to get the things to have an organized life. Maybe you want to also be exercising and doing other things and implicating these things into your life. So you will need time allocated to use your time wisely and not burn yourself out. That's another thing about not burning yourself out, is give yourself respected time. If you need to pull back a little, pull back a little, but definitely make schedules for yourself. Also with timing, like give yourself like deadlines and stuff like that to motivate you to say, I have to stay on course and keep my focus. You can also write things down on a board. If you have a dry erase board, or if you don't have one, get a piece of paper, whatever you have, tape it to the wall. Every day when you wake up, look at these goals that you set for yourself, right? Or if you have it in your phone, whichever way, right? But make sure that you write down these things, like make a checklist, and make sure that you check off these goals as you go, right? So you set a schedule for yourself to allocate. It could be a half hour, it can be an hour, it could be, if it starts to take more of a presence, maybe you have to allocate a little more time to it, but it'll be a natural progression as you grow and you're going along. So yeah, definitely you need some sort of a structure. So you need to create some sort of schedule, right? You may not be able to give all the hours of your day, and that's okay. But we all have to give at least the 5 minutes if we want something to have some sort of effect in that proper respect, right? So that was number two. Number three is probably the hardest one, but the simplest one, but still the hardest one. And because of all the obstacles and everything else, and but you have to have a iron will type focus, and that's stick to your guns. That's number three, is stick to the plan. So when you make a plan and you make the schedule, try your best to fight to stick to that space that you're creating, because what you're doing is evolving, you're learning, you're growing, you're adding pieces to your collage, you know what I mean, of your story and your development. So on any level, that could work, and it could work in practical jobs, it could work, but more so speaking to creative type people as well. But like, make a plan, make it realistic, make a schedule, right? And then stick to that schedule. And those three things, in consistency, as we know, repetition, right? And consistency helps you become more successful and reach the destination that you would like to go rather than not. So even if you feel a pullback, sometimes push through to make sure that you stay on your consistency. There's days where no one feels like doing some of the tasks that they need to do, but if they push through, they get a little bit tougher. Not only that, the goals are getting accomplished, things are getting done, you know what I mean? You're moving forward, you can close one chapter and start a new chapter. So you're, you know what I mean, moving up, stacking up. So yeah, that's for success, I would say that those are things that I find helpful at a foundational level. Other than that, you have things like investing, being very money savvy, educated with money, things like that, investment, business, getting into these things, different points of interest, and also aligning yourself with people who have similar viewpoints to what you're trying to accomplish, right? So you're all moving in the same direction. So if you start to incorporate people into these plans, that it definitely keeps moving forward. But always have the utmost enthusiasm for what it is that you want to set out to do, because it's going to come down to you laying the foundation, and no one is going to be as excited about what you could do more than you, and that energy should come across. So you have the authenticity in there, as far as your process and everything, and your passion will grow, and the consistency will show your authenticity. That your message stays consistent, your drive stays consistent on whatever it is that you're trying to get across or express or accomplish. Your mission is one of the longevity, right? Longevity. So yeah, man, that's what I wanted to share with you today. If you enjoyed the content, definitely please give me that like. I definitely appreciate it, and it is much needed. Definitely subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It is deeply appreciated and also much needed. And I do welcome comments in the comment section. I love when people add to like whatever the topic could be, because there's a lot of insightful people. People are amazing. And I like that aspect. You know what I mean? I'm not a guy trying to get on here to tell you the end all be all to any situation. I just, like I said, authentically like to just try to give you another side and connect with you so you can see a little bit under the layers and behind some curtains. And hopefully I can do that. Hopefully I do that, but I know that I do appreciate the time with you and your ears as well, man, because I love to entertain. And so, man, big bless, big shouts to all the shakers and movers. Keep your head up, make that plan, and make sure it's realistic. Set that schedule up, and stay healthy and stick to your guns. Let's get it. Peace.